This is day 24. Pretty amazing. This morning I woke up at 6 a.m. to participate in a weekly call that I do with my beloved colleague, our prayer call, where we support each other by listening deeply and by using what we call affirmative prayer. So I grew up with a prayer that was much more of a begging prayer, a beseeching prayer, praying to something outside of myself, praying to a power outside of myself that had good days, sometimes not good days. I was always wondering if I was worthy of my prayers being answered. I always wondered if it was in a good mood or not. And these days, my prayerful life is much more happening all the time, in which I'm just understanding that the word is creative whenever it's used, that this is a great gift we've been given by the Creator, that our word is creative. And we are immersed in universal laws that are constantly creating. And that when you understand this and work in alignment with this, you release your victimhood and become more of a conscious co-creator of your everyday living. And so I was grateful for that this morning. I'm finding that phrase, silence is golden, is really something I'm relating to today. I tend to be a talker, and my feeling though today is there's something about the silence that's calling me in. I want to go someplace and just be quiet and not have a lot of stimuli and do some writing and empty out. I've got a lot inside of me that's been percolating and rearranging itself and now, presenting itself to me anew. And I feel like I really need to sit down and cast that net and pull in as much of this as I can before it goes away. Another interesting thing is my prayer partner and I this morning, we were talking about this event that we've been working out for quite some time now. We've been inspired to do something called a spiritual response to President Trump. And I'm sharing this with you because right after our call, I took our conversation into meditation. And what I am realizing today, this morning, right now, is that more times than not, I am in an exploratory state. And I'm really excited to be involved with someone like my friend who, along with myself, has simply been willing to remain open at the top, remain flexible and fluid, and just willing to be available for whatever it is that this thing is. There's no doubt we were initially very, very inspired way back in early February, and we have been talking about this for quite some time, and we were very clear back in March about what we were going to do and where we were going to do it. And since then, that has completely fallen away, not only in a physical location, and now we're going to bring it online, but this very thing, the content and how we're going to present it, has been morphing every day that we talk. So finally, this morning, we were realizing, okay, this is probably going to be a series because we are still in the exploratory phase of just the title alone. I've gotten so much passionate feedback from both sides, from all sides, about the title. A lot of people drawing conclusions before they even hear what the content is all about. So that's all very interesting. So though we were encouraged to change the title, we're not going to do that because this is an important thing to move with. At the same time, it's a little scary. Scary as in mysterious, as in we really don't know all that this is going to be. We know pieces of it. We know what our core foundation is as individuals and what we're bringing to this collectively. But even our relationship to that is constantly changing. So we just decided, look, why don't we just go forward and be in the exploratory stage of this? Why don't we just open the door and begin and see what happens? So this is very much the way I'm leaning towards wanting to live, where my heart says, do this thing. And even though it takes me to my creative edge and my spiritual edge for sure, and just my human edge, I mean, the edge of all things, right? even though I don't have all the information, even though I know a little bit of the technology to get this thing up and running next week, do it. And trust that as soon as we say yes, the heart is going to bring forward all the things that we need, which is what we decided today. So perhaps this quiet time is necessary for myself. I know that it is in part so that I can really feel into all the different pieces of feedback I've been getting about this topic, because at the core of it for me, I don't want us to suffer so much. We are suffering in many, many ways, whether we're young people or old people or all the people in between. We're suffering. And I think that we are on the precipice of an opportunity to stop fighting and to listen to each other and to respect each other and to agree to disagree with each other and to seek a common ground. There's got to be one seed of common ground here that if we focused on that, perhaps then we could go and grow something together. And that's what inspires me. So I know that I'm opening up more and more and more to opinions and thoughts and preferences that are not in alignment with what mine are. And that's really, really important. Can I listen deeply? Can I respect another's opinions, even though they firmly disagree with my own? Can I not have these emotional charges that so many people are having with me just by hearing the title of this event? So there's some big stuff going on, but I know that to be called out to do something like this, it's requiring me to be called in. And that makes total sense. Because once we let this thing go, and I guess in a way I have because I'm doing it this way, sharing it with you, once we let this thing go, it's important for me to have a place from which I can be centered. And that's what these meditations are helping me do. And that's the place these meditations are helping me find and stay connected to throughout the day. This is day 24.